from Mayday Mayhem, Loveland, Colorado, the ranch at the Budweiser Event Center. Man, this is going to be a rock and roll affair. I happen to be the ordained minister of roller derby, the father of the flat track. I'm Pastor Mike. Beside me is Mo Vato, who will be calling us all the way through to the end of the Dreadnoughts v. Cornstalkers affair. We're already underway, brothers and sisters. Camel Joe has taken the lead jammer situation. He's got a whole thing going on as he races around the track looking for room. In the meantime, nothing doing on the other side of the equation. Jam Monster J, jammer of record for the Dreadnoughts, and he is a big half lap behind, but once again locked in tight. Now Camel Joe will call off the jam right there. Mo Vato, how you doing, man?
Oh, I'm doing really well, having skated twice last night with the Dallas Inception. So these are two teams from the pool that I'm participating in this bout. So I have a lot of experience in having contact with all the men on the floor right now.
There you go. Well, listen, we're going to go ahead and do rosters here after this next jam because we came into the game a little bit late, and that's frankly my fault for being a little busy looking at NFL draft stats or something. I don't know what the heck I was doing 30 seconds ago, but I was doing something else. Hop, skip, and a jump, and quick as a whip. Annihilator takes lead jammer status on the inside. Man, jumps right over everybody and clears the path. He's out and about. Hot Toddy will give chase, but he's got some room to make up. Annihilator comes back into the engagement zone. An inside-outside move. He gets by one, then two, and maybe a third. Putting points on the board and calling that jam off before any damage can be done. Quick out of the gates. A little bit of a lead for the Cornstalkers, Mo.
Yes, and they were able to take advantage of the Dreadnoughts trying to slow up and form a wall to prevent the Cornstalker jammer from scoring. And that may have worked to their advantage. I haven't seen a change on the scoreboard. Yeah,
we may be having some issues with the scoreboard. I believe that was a 3-point jam. I believe the score now stands at 4-0, but that may not be the case. They may have called that one with no points. So, we'll have to keep track of it. At the 28-minute mark right now, 2 minutes down, back to action on the track. Number 2 in purple, that's Jam Monster J. He's back out there again, but he's got some room to make up right now as lead jammer status is going to flip on over the other way, and that's going to be Tool Shed. Lead jammer and a little bit of a lead, but man, oh man, talk about speed. Jam Monster J down and dirty, racing across the track, trying to catch up. Tool Shed in the meantime trying to take an outside line. Fast and furious, he's forced out of play on the outside, and that jam's going to get called off right there. I see 2 points being held up. That looks like 2 points for yellow. I'm going to assume that's yellow. Our jam tracker does not. Oh, there's the yellow bracelet. There it is after all. So a 4-0 run there. So now we do have the stats are updated evidently. And Mo, no points on the second jam. On the third jam, though, a 3-0 run for the Cornstalkers.
Right, and then if you notice that the Dreadnoughts employed going to the front of the pack to try to speed it up to make the opposing jammer chase them. So it's just they're probably just trying out some different strategies on defense right now to try to get a feel for where the Cornstalkers are going.
Yeah, and these guys, they haven't played each other. There was one bout, I'm told, but we don't have record on it, unfortunately. But these two teams have only, if at all, played each other once. Nice job there, chest to chest. Barbarossa one-on-one at the front of the pack. That's going to be the Jester trying to hold him in. Nothing doing, brother. He is gone. And on the other side of the equation, looks to me like King Koopa doing the damage on Short Bus, pushing him out of play there on the opposite side of the jammer line, all the way on the other side of the track. So off to the races they go, and who's going to come out on top? It's Short Bus trying to find a hole. He's got one to beat. That's going to be number 86. And then, he's past him. Short Bus, not your lead jammer. An additional 4-point jam right there, says Rainbow Spite. Barbarossa puts up a 4 spot and gets that jam called off. Hey, you know what? While we got a second, very quickly, let's jam through these rosters real quick. You want to handle the Sioux City folks and let us know who's actually on the floor, because they've got some gentlemen that are not skating today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so skating, with wheels on this afternoon for the yellow Cornstalkers, we've got 000 Hot Shot, number 130, Nile Eater, 313, Camel Joe, 314, Barbarossa, number 35, The Wolfman, number 616, King Koopa, number 8, D-Bags, number 86, Anden, number 916, Toolshed, and PN15, John Senja-Holmes.
There you go. We are in action. Camel Joe takes lead jammer status once again. Hop, skipping, a jump, nothing doing. Wall, wall, wall. Hell of a job there in the front. Hot shot, locking things up. That is Jam Monster J having a tough time. He's got to recycle back all the way to the back of the pack. In the meantime, a 5 spot put on the board. That'll be your first grand slam of this one. MRDA action from Mayday Mayhem here in Loveland, Colorado. That's Camel Joe taking an outside line. Hop, skips, and flies through. There's no jumping involved, man. He just put it up on the toe stops and forced his way through. Brute force is what that was. Blunt force trauma for a 5 spot. He's got 10 already, and just as quickly as that, he's back to the front of the pack. He's got 1 to beat, and he does. Count it. Put him on the board. 4 plus the thumb. That's a 5 spot. Once again, another Finsky. And man, oh man, Camel Joe is feeling it, brother.
Well, don't let Camel Joe's size deceive you. I mean, it looks like he's a big bruiser, but he shows a lot of agility and managing his skates so that he's able to bob and weave through.
Another 5 spot there for Camel Joe. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, you know what? You expect a guy with that kind of size to kind of plod along. You expect him to be brute strength. You expect him to be strong. You don't expect the kind of side-to-side mobility that he's showing here, and he just showed it off again. Outside, inside move, nice big collision up front. That's going to be with number 7, Solus, I believe. It was indeed. Not enough power to take Camel Joe off his game. He's got another 5 points, and let me tell you something. There was talk early on that the Cornstalkers were overmatched in this bout. There's been talk online leading up to this bout that the Cornstalkers were severe dogs. Flat Track Stats says they are severe underdogs. 90% chance of losing this bout, 93% chance of losing this bout, and right now they're up to a 33-0 lead.
Not the guys I played yesterday. Those guys were stout. They were ready to play. They were ready to put body on body. And just if you'd noticed on that hit that Camel Joe was able to bounce off of, he also was able to manage his feet inbound. So he has tremendous control of his weight. Yeah,
great point there. Not only was he able to take the hit, but take the hit on the inside track and stay in play. So, huge props there. That was a nice move. Taken out of play, down and inside on the track. That's going to be Hot Toddy. In the meantime, Nihilator has control of this jam, and he's pushing and shoving his way through the line. Now he's taken down, but everybody fell down on that one. So the apex of turn number 4 was crowded with bodies. He'll have to recycle at the back of the pack. Does a nice job there. Hot shot, forceful. Nice job there. Hot shot on Hot Toddy, and bang, bang, bang. Hot shot once again, laying the lumber. John Senja-Holmes helping out, and all the way back from in front of the jammer stripe, all the way back to the midpoint of turn number 4 before he can re-enter play safely and securely. And we're going to have a jammer pass going on right now. That's going to go from Hot Toddy on over to number 7, Soulless. He's going to take the jammer panty and run with it, but he's got a lot of room to make up. 10 points already on the board for the Cornstalkers, courtesy of Nihilator, who's just going ahead and doing what he's got to do to make things happen. This thing is going to go fast and furious, and I'm telling you, oh yeah, that's what we like to see with MRDA sanctioned derby play, man. Let me tell you, John Senja-Holmes got sent to the floor.
Well, when you're looking backwards, it's open season. And a lot of hitting going on. I mean, it's just, a lot of testosterone on the floor, and it's just a lot of attitude. And, every hit, you're sending a message to that opponent that I'm here, and you're going to feel it.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Message sent, message delivered. And right now, I got to be honest with you, man, Ragnarok is a big boy. And he just got his clock cleaned. I got to be honest with you, I don't know who hit him. Couldn't tell. Way on the other side of the track and completely turned around, couldn't catch the number. Doesn't matter, dude. He got clocked. 14 points on the board for the Cornstalkers. Let's very quickly run down the Dreadnought Roller Derby roster today. We got Jam Monster J, number 2. 27 is Short Bus. 42 would normally be Nomad, but he's been suspended. He's out with a gross misconduct from play yesterday on a major back block penalty, I believe. Little John, number 67. Number 7, Soulless. 719, Hot Toddy. 7247, Ragnarok. And number 8, skate and bake. Oh, and I almost forgot, number 9,000, the Jester. Back to the action on the track, a 47-point lead approaching the 20-minute mark. We have a lead jammer. Oh, are you kidding me? Holy cow, that was a nasty, nasty hit. And down went Skate and Bake. And I mean, went down hard, Mo.
Yeah, but he was lead jammer, so he was able to put the points on the board and call off the jam and break that goose egg for the Dreadnoughts. So now Dreadnoughts on the board, looking to see if they can shift some momentum in their direction.
Yeah, finally cracking the scoreboard there with the 3 spot. So 47-3, 19 minutes and 40 seconds by the time the whistle blows. We'll see what they can do with it here. Back to action as the whistles go. No movement whatsoever from the pack. They're all content to just kind of sit right where they're at. Take a quick look at the action, and quickly on the outside line, Barbarossa out and through. On the other side of the equation, number 2, Jam Monster J, looking for hole, looking for room, looking for space, looking for any kind of crack, crevice, chink in the armor, finding no quarter right now. He's got absolutely nowhere to go. Hot shot, nice big blast to the body out on turn number 4, and back goes Jam Monster J all the way back to the break between 3 and 4. And finally, he's able to come back in, but not looking like he's ready to get hit again. I'll tell you that. This jam's going to get called off right there. Not before the damage had been done, boys and girls. Cornstalkers up big right now. 18 minutes and 45 seconds to play. Your score, 54-3 in favor of the Cornstalkers.
Cornstalk is taking advantage of their size and their ability to cover a lot of track laterally, able to keep the Dreadnoughts jammer, from completing their initial pass, giving their jammer an opportunity to just rack up points again. And it's just the initial desire is to keep the pack slow right off the jammer line and just let your jammer work through, needle their way through with the weaving. As you can see, Camel Joe just going side to side and just trying to put a shoulder someplace to create an opening. Yeah,
I'll tell you something. There's something exciting about watching Camel Joe with the force and the ability, but this time around, it was pretty easy to identify the Dreadnoughts jammer. We're in a, for those of you not here in the room, obviously who would be in the room and listening on the broadcast, that doesn't make much sense, but for you listening at home, at the jammer stripe, it's very difficult for us to see who's there because we're facing the wrong direction, basically. We're behind or in front of the jammer stripe facing into it. So there's a whole pack and referees and everybody else in our way. We can't see a doggone thing. But when Little John jumps up there at 6'7", flat-footed. 6'7", flat-footed. That's a big fella. He's got the star on his helmet right now. So 5 points on the board for Camel Joe, who has found his way back to the engagement zone. He's got 1, then 2, then 3, and looking for 1 more, but a nice job of recycling. The Jester comes back in to kind of try and clean up the slop. He's got 1 to beat, and it is the Jester. Takes that outside move, a little bit of a head wiggle and a waist jiggle, and off he goes. Camel Joe showing a little bit of that agility once again, and now it's going to be Jammer v. Jammer as Little John says, you know what, I'll put a hit on you. Why not? Didn't do a whole lot of good. Camel Joe going through 3 blockers and the jammer backwards. And then that one's going to get called off, but not before the points go on the board. I believe you're going to see 13-14 indeed. 14 for the Cornstalkers. Nothing doing on the other side, my man.
Again, footwork is the friend of the jammer, and it's just the ability to just get your feet moving, backwards, forwards, sideways. It's going to make things happen for you. I mean, how many points are scored in a game going backwards because you're able to just whip yourself around and just get your hips past, because it's about the hips. It's not about the entire body.
We're seeing more and more of it, no question about that. Talk about fancy footwork. Oh, there we go. We got ourselves a penalty. That's going to be Nihilator. He'll take a seat on the track cut. Down he goes, and now a power jam begins. That's going to be Soulless, number 7 for Dreadnought Roller Derby. In control. Now he's not cleared, not made his initial pass, and he's having a hell of a time with it right now. I mean, locked in tight. 1, then 2, then 3, and now a 4 wall reforms again. They got everybody on him right now. Soulless pushed out of play just past the jammer line. He'll come back, reform at turn number 4, try it again, and then King Koopa trying to lay into him, and then King Koopa hits him again, and then King Koopa hits him again. I mean, these two guys are teaming up, and King Koopa is just a third party to all the violence going on. He'll lay a hit now and then a gun, another one, and then another big hit that drops him to his knees, and that clears a path. And very quickly, Annihilator able to reform, reconfigure himself. Hop, skips, jumps his way through and clear. He's got the points. Not the lead jammer, but he is out and about. I take that back. That must have been that can't have been his initial pass. No way that was Annihilator's initial pass. They didn't put any points on the board. We'll see if they come. That couldn't have been. Couldn't have been. But we'll take a look. Listen, scoreboard is the scoreboard. We'll let the referees and the non-skating officials figure that all out. But as we sit, a phenomenal job by the Cornstalkers defensively, led by King Koopa, and then there was one other one involved in that. That was, I said it 3 times, and now I can't tell you who the heck it was. Who was helping out on that one?
Hot Shot?
Yeah, it wasn't Hot Shot, was it? Yeah, maybe it was. King Koopa was definitely one of them. And Den was definitely another one of them. There was another body included. I said it 6 times, and now I don't even know who the heck I was talking about. Here's what I can tell you. 2 points put on the board. The Cornstalkers lead 70-3, Mo.
Yes, and it's just they're holding the walls together. It's just, I mean, it's like the mission that they seem to be on. It's just like you need 4 yellow shirts right next to each other and just holding it, you know. And it's just there always seems to be in contact with their teammates to give the support. I mean, it's just the higher level derby. If if anyone who's seen higher level derby in terms of MRDA, we're talking Shock Exchange, Puget. I mean, it's always teamwork, teamwork, teamwork. You're not going to see a lot of lone wolfing. Guys supporting each other, not looking for the blow-up hits. It's just get the bodies moving, get your opponents moving in the direction you want them to go so that your guy can do everything he needs to do to put the points on the board for you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We are, are we in... We don't have anybody out there, so I'm not sure where we are. We're in a stoppage. How about that? It would appear as though that's a timeout. It would appear as though it's a Dreadnoughts timeout, as I see a 2 on the scoreboard next to a 3. So I assume that's what we've got is a Dreadnoughts timeout. Although, again, no official timer telling us what's going on. We'll get that here in a second, it looks like, but I believe that's going to be a Dreadnoughts timeout. Probably well taken with a 67-point deficit on the board right now. Dreadnoughts having a tough time scoring points while the Cornstalkers are kind of walking away. Now, I will tell you, I don't know if you saw it on the screen, if the cameras caught it, but the Cornstalkers were having a little party over here on the sideline during that timeout. I mean, they were up in the air. I mean, hands were up. They're high-fiving each other. Now, that could have been, that was team stuff. I mean, that might have been just trying to get air in their lungs with the hands up, but it turned into high fives before the timeout ended, which I guess was basically now. So we're back to regulation. The jam timer has kicked off, and we are back to full action. 4-on-4, full pack on both sides of the track. Quick peek at what's going on. Oh, nice move. What a pirouette. Fantastic job there by Toolshed, who then takes 2 hits. The Jester was one of them, I believe. Couldn't see the other number. We'll get that one for you in a minute. But in the meantime, he is free and clear. But we got ourselves a foot race now. It's going to be 1-on-1, Jammer v. Jammer, and both Jammers just face off. This might be a fight, brother. This is like a hockey game. They both drop the gloves and stare at each other off, and then finally take off once again. That was kind of fun.
Well, actually, my experience is that they were trying to slow up the opposing jammer, the purple jammer, to see if the pack could catch up to him, to recycle him back in and force him to push his way through again and create more work and give an opportunity for Toolshed to put more points on the board with a little bit more ease as opposed to trying to outrun the opposing jammer.
Yeah, hey, listen, no question about it. They were trying to eat the baby. I mean, at least looking for the opportunity anyway. Listen, there was no doubt about that. It's just the way they did it, skating face to face and chest to chest like that. It just looked like, they were ready to drop the gloves and go at it. So 4 points put on the board by the Cornstalkers. Nothing to do. Well, I take that back. Now a couple points assigned a little bit late in the game. 3 more points on the board for the Dreadnoughts. They've got 6. So just under 13 minutes to go. You skate. So you tell me, what is your coach telling you right now? Down by basically 68 points. Early. What is your coach telling you, at that timeout?
Oh, to keep our bodies on the jammer. Just do not, keep the walls together. Stay on the opposing jammer. Do not give him the openings, and do not, give in to the offense of the other team. We got to keep our heads in the game. and just, continue to play our game. Because that's the one thing with the Cornstalkers in their size, if you start playing the power game against them and you don't have the power to match up to them, they're going to own you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Two strong teams, no doubt about that. And listen, let's not be foolish, right? 74-6 is a big lead. Let's not kid ourselves. However, there's absolutely nothing in their makeup that shows us that the Dreadnoughts are ever going to give up. There's absolutely no chance that they're looking at this and saying, man, we're out of this thing. I mean, 68 points is big, but it's not insurmountable. I mean, it's a couple of jams. I mean, honestly, at the speed that these skaters play, it's a couple of power jams. I mean, really, this is very, very tight, or can be very tight. Now, the challenge is that the Dreadnoughts have got to solve the challenge. They've got to break the code, because right now the Cornstalkers have got their number. They're scoring at will. They're shutting everybody down. There's absolutely nothing in the makeup of this bout that says the Cornstalkers are struggling. They're skating down. They're skating in derby formation. I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. So there's that. The Dreadnoughts have not started standing up straight. They don't have their hands on their hips. They have not retired or anything like that. They just have to find a solution. They got to find it now.
But what's noticeable is now their jammer is now double shifting between defense and offense and not concentrating solely on offense. So now now that your jammer is acting as a fifth blocker, which is taking away from their main objective to get through the pack. Now they have to worry about the jammer also.
Well, listen, when the other team's scoring at will, as the Cornstalkers have shown that they can, it might not be a bad idea. It might not be a bad thought, because listen, the Dreadnoughts just won their first jam, I believe. Now, we don't have, Jack and his mystery bag of stats to back us up, but I believe that's the first win for the Dreadnoughts in a jam, a 6-4 win for them. Now, as soon as you say that, Annihilator jumps out big and quick. He's got Soulless to beat. Yes, sir, yes, sir. I believe that's going to be Hot Shot. It was. Hot Shot laying the lumber, a big, massive hit on Soulless, jarring hit. He gets up, jumps back in, but not before the damage had been done. You got a lead jammer yet wearing a yellow jersey, and Rainbow Spite says he's got all 5 points. So, man, oh man, that was nasty, nasty stuff. Big hits all over the place. It's a 3-wall up front now. And Den and I believe D-Bags. I can't see who's up front. Who's the pivot on that side of things? Is that Hot Shot? Yeah. It is. It is Hot Shot. And another big hit there sends Soulless to the ground. It's going to take him a second to recover. That was a nasty hit, and he's holding on to the back right hip. He might have got himself a little bit of a hip pointer. That's not a serious one. He's moving just fine, but no question that hit hurt, or the way he landed anyway.
Well, landing on concrete is going to, leave a potential stinger for anybody. I mean, this surface just has no give, and considering how slick it is, it's just, there's a big focus on keeping your wheels under you.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We got a star pass coming up here. Skate and Bake takes the panty. He has not. Now he did get clear. I got to ask you a question about that. So he doesn't get clear. He does make his way through the pack before getting the panty on, and then once he's clear, puts on the star. Now that, of course, Annihilator sees him coming and calls the jam. As a blocker, you take the star pass. Before placing the helmet cover on your helmet, you zip through the pack, and then you put the star helmet on.
That does not count as a pass.
No, it's not a pass until the cover's on.
Right, but with the new rules, they have the entire track to put on the star. They don't know it's no longer the 30-foot engagement zone.
Right.
So there's a
Well, the question is this: why not put the star on immediately? That way, when you do that hop, skip, and jump move, and you get 3 points, rather than clearing 3 hurdles with no points on the board.
Well, preferably try to get the star pass to the pivot that's in front of the pack. If you can get your pivot in front of the pack, because all the jammer has to do is reach over to the pivot.
Wow, what a move. Unbelievable. Boys and girls, if you were blinking during that one, you missed it. Jam Master J jumped, spun, landed. Almost I'll call it an apex jump. I mean, he was at the apex. I mean, he didn't clear the apex. He didn't have to. The line was clear on the inside, but he took a blast, a shot that turned him around midair, and he still landed it, still got all 5 points, and he is racing. We've got a power jam going on as the penalty still ticking away. Now, he is standing up, and he's going to re-engage right now, but a 5-point jam already. Tool Shed assessed a penalty before that one could come to a conclusion, and it's going to get called off right there. But the Dreadnoughts once again cutting in. 5 points put on the board in the first pass, and a 10-point now Dreadnought jam. 5 additional points on that second pass, so 16-93, Mo.
Yeah, it's a very successful power jam for the Dreadnoughts. It's especially with the 30-second change to the penalty. It's just comebacks, a little bit harder, but there was an effective use of the entire 30 seconds and the lead jammer position to put the points on the board and prevent the Cornstalkers from putting any points on the board.
Yeah, we've got a multiplayer block now coming against D-Bags. He's going to take a seat. That'll be a 4-on-3 pack advantage now for the Dreadnoughts. But the Dreadnoughts now skating a player down. That's going to be an elbow call, I believe. That's going to go against number 7. That, my friends, is still Solis. He's down. So the power jam ensues. A back-to-back power jam opportunity for the Cornstalkers now. Excuse me, I take that back. It went the other direction. My apologies. Cornstalkers now on the power jam, looking to make up the ground made by the Dreadnoughts on the previous power jam that went the other way. So got that one wrong, but we'll get it corrected. Here's the deal. 5 high, says Rainbow Spite. She is the jam ref for the Cornstalkers, and off to the races goes Barbarossa. He's got himself 10 already and very, very quickly reforms. He's back, 1 to beat. He's got all 5 of them once again, make it a 15-point jam before the opportunity now for Solis to get back into this thing. So he's in, and he's all the way to the front, 1 to beat. Nice job of recycling there. He did indeed beat Anden, but by the time he had done that, another yellow jersey had reformed, recycled, and made it a little bit more difficult for him. So he took a blast on the way through, but Solis is out and about. He's not going to have an opportunity. 4 more points put on the board, and let's call that a 19, I believe. Yes, indeed, a 19-point Cornstalkers jam.
And the Cornstalkers able to break the century mark on that jam, and as demonstrated, the power jam giveth and the power jam taketh away.
No doubt about it. It's one of those things, man. Even with the new rule set, when you start looking at a 30-second penalty as opposed to a 60-second penalty time, it's changed the game a little bit, Mo. I mean, when you think about it, and I've talked to a lot of skaters before the change actually went into effect, and then again now that it has gone into effect, and I hear a lot of skaters tell me, Pastor Mike, here's the deal. The 30 seconds means that we're getting less rest in between, penalty and getting back on the track. Most penalties are committed when a skater's a little bit tired. So, to give them 30 seconds less rest and get them back out there on the track means that they're still tired. Means that they're not getting the full 30 seconds or an extra 30 seconds of rest. They're coming back on. They're spending 2 or 3 more minutes in an entire game on the track that they wouldn't have because they'd have been sitting on the penalty box. So they've got more opportunity to collect penalties as well. Right. So, less rest, more penalties because they're more tired. More penalties means potentially more foul outs. I mean, it's just a whole thing, and it's sped up the game, no question.
But it also increases the possibility of getting 2 penalties within a jam. I mean, and that's just detrimental to any strategy.
Well, we're going to watch that play out all the way through. So not a whole lot on that last one's now. A couple points assigned, but it's only 16-112, so not a whole lot to report there. A couple nice moves, a no pass, no penalty call, but nothing doing. All the way around, we go back to it. Looks like we're going to have lead jammer going this time once again to the Cornstalkers. Quick look at the numbers. We got a penalty being assigned to the Cornstalkers as well, but Nihilator is going to be down. He's down 1 blocker, a 4-3 advantage. And as we go, it looks like to me number 8, Skate and Bake, is his counterpart. So that one's on the reverse stoppage. Turn, spin, and call that one off. They gave him a 2 spot on that last pass. So another 2 points on the board for Sioux City Cornstalkers, who, by the way, 3 points now being tallied. I got to tell you, I talked to both teams before the beginning of this game, and they've both got a large contingency of listeners checking us out here on the broadcast. And by the way, thanks a million to the good folks over at ColoradoSports.TV for putting this all on and putting it together for us.
Yes, and please feel free to tap that donate button to Colorado Sports if you're enjoying the action, because it is provided at no cost to the viewer, but it does take money to make this happen.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Nice job there. Tool shed straps on the star, but Short Bus was more than happy to show him the way out. He pushed him straight out, not once but twice, and nice job of recycling. And now again, hit one more time, this time the Jester doing the duty. And we've got ourselves a penalty being called now. Tool Shed being assigned a track cut penalty. He'll take a seat, and he's all the way on the other side of the penalty box, so he's going to have to take a long stroll over there. In the meantime, take a quick look, and you've got Jam Monster J on the power jam. He is in lead position, and now the Jester takes a seat. He was also penalized just moments after the initial jammer penalty. A nice big shot there. Hot shot with a big blast to the chest, forcing Jam Monster J out of play. He'll reform back of the pack. Turn number 4. 1 to beat, make it 2 to beat, make it 3 to beat. Recycle, 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 and finally cleared out for a 5-point pass. The Dreadnoughts putting points on the board, but again, going to have to do it in buckets right now to kind of close the gap. Finally, back to it. Annihilator allowed back on the track. He's been cleared for action, and he's back on, but excuse me, I take that back. I lied once again. Tool Shed, the jammer of record, he takes a big hit here in turn number 1, and that jam ends right there. A 5-0 run, I believe, for the Dreadnoughts, and the scoreboard agrees with it.
Right, and that power jam was made possible due to the defensive-minded action of Jam Master J to induce the track cut by moving back and to get his opposing jammer to re-enter illegally and give the Dreadnoughts an opportunity to put points on the board and just nudge their way a little bit closer.
Yeah, we've got an official timeout being called now, and so let's. I want to take a look. I want to shout out a couple of our sponsors real quick. So we'll grab those, and we'll do that in a second. But a couple people that we haven't mentioned that we should before we get there. I do want to give a shout out to both of the bench coaches for both teams. Big thanks to them for being here and helping their teams do what they've got to do. It's Napoleon Dynamite and Mrs. Littlejohn on the Dreadnought side, and Mo Payne and Dubs coaching for Sioux City. So big thanks to them. And, of course, all of our officials in blue and in pink this weekend. And, of course, all of our black and white, our officials, the skating officials, our referees doing what they do. So we've got an official review. It looks like we're going to get word here on that in just a minute. So, Mo, I'll come to you on that just after this, give you a chance to collect your thoughts there. We're off and running with Little John leading things off for the Dreadnoughts. He's got lead jammer status, and Barbarossa having a tough time in the back of the pack. Now finally squeezes his way through. 1 to beat. The Jester gives chase, can't get him, so now Barbarossa going to have to give chase. Nothing he can do but try and catch up to Little John, who is way out there and flailing his arms to call that one off. So, Mo, talk to me, baby. What happened there?
Well, the referees were confabbing to make any assessments of penalties right at the end of the jam. There was just a little pileup here at the outside of turn 1, so they just wanted to make sure they got all the penalties sorted out and everyone in the penalty box that needed to be there.
Well, it looks like Ragnarok is the only one assigned. He still sits there, and so he'll get a needed breather. And we got a 3-0 run that time around. I got to be honest with you, man. That was a very, very quick half of roller derby. A lot of action, some phenomenal wall work, particularly on the side of the Cornstalkers. The Dreadnoughts are down big, certainly not out. What do you do? I mean, I know we asked the question earlier, but I'm going to ask you one more time because things may have changed a little bit here now that they've started to kind of figure out how to score against this Cornstalkers team. What do you do in the halftime, in the intermission, if you're coaching this team? What do you say to the Dreadnoughts to see if they can't figure out a way to bring those 80 points back on the board?
Well, you just encourage them to stick to their original game plan because, foundation strategies will work. It's just a matter of just sticking to the game that you want to play. And it's just, if you noticed with when the Cornstalkers, they were enjoying a significant lead at halftime against Dallas, but Dallas then began to play their game. They didn't play the Cornstalkers game, and they actually won the second half, even though they didn't win the bout. They started playing their game the way that they wanted to, and were finding success in that application.
All right, let's wrap things up. We've got about a very, very short halftime, 3 minutes, 45 seconds, and we're right back to you here from Loveland, Colorado.
Sticker Giant helps people make great stickers. I'm John Fisher, and I started the company. Every sticker has a story behind it. Every sticker has something behind it besides just stickiness.
People seem to flock towards stickers no matter what they are all about.
It's a portable billboard. It can go anywhere.
I've seen stickers on little girls' foreheads.
Cars, motorcycles.
Stop signs, you know, we don't endorse that.
Baby bottoms.
I see stickers everywhere. I see stickers in my dreams.
We're a small little group of people, and we all kind of have the same vision for success.
Every person is quality minded, top to bottom. We're about getting the job done right.
The quality of Sticker Giant stickers is really fantastic. We run 3 different materials here. All of them were researched to find the best possible thing we can get.
We can get your email and process your stickers in 24 hours and get them out to you.
We try and do things quickly, we try and do them accurately, and we try and get people the stickers that they want. People ask me what I do, and I go, we make stickers all day. There's this company in rural Boulder County, and all they do is make stickers and labels. What makes Sticker Giant a great sticker? What the customer wants, because we can print any kind of sticker. Every day there's a sticker to where I see it, and I just want to know the story behind it. I want to know the company. I want to talk to the owner.
We take people's passions, things that they're really fired up about. We make it over and over and over so those people can tell their story to the world.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, as the bout goes on, as the game goes on, as the tournament goes on, really, clock management is going to play a big, big role. So we'll see how it goes here. But again, Cornstalkers certainly using it to their advantage.
But as you can see, Dreadnought's employing a great bridge to give Short Bus an opportunity to just push up against the pack and try to stretch to the front and create a no-pack situation so that he's released. But, you know, the stout defense of the Cornstalkers just doing what they're doing.
Oh, man, big hit. Front of the pack there. Down goes Short Bus. Annihilator came out front. He's got lead jammer status. You thought Short Bus was going to have it, but he got kind of locked up there, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Annihilator came in and really pushed his way through. He's going to jump the apex there in 3, try to do the same in 4, and he's knocked around. Going to have no choice but to leave the track. That was going to be a quick penalty assigned. Nothing doing there. He's going to take a seat for a, well, we'll find out what it was in a second. A low block penalty being assessed now. Low block call for Annihilator. Short Bus on the power jam, and he's got a big, huge wall of yellow in front of him. That 3 or 4 wall turns down to 3 very quickly, bridging again, 4, then 3, now 2 and 1, and he's taken out of play right there. So effective use of a 2 wall, and I believe, yes, sir, you're going to get yourself a track cut on that one, no question about that. Nicely played by the Cornstalkers, so we're going to get a flip-flop of the jammers. Little penalty time coming back. Annihilator. See, I did it twice. Annihilator. That's his name. Annihilator out and about, and big hit there as he tries to clear that one. Nothing doing. He's down and out on the inside line. Has to reform at the back of the pack. So a lot of hitting, a lot of action. Not nearly the scoring affair that we had in the first half so far. So 5 points put on the board by Annihilator. We'll see if he can't go ahead and clean things up, but that's going to come to a conclusion right there.
And as you can see, a 0-0, oh, well, actually a 5-0 jam for the Cornstalkers, but that went the entire 2 minutes. Again, completely to the Cornstalkers' advantage. The game that they want to play right now is just limit the jam opportunities for the Dreadnoughts to get their jammers on the floor, to try to get lead jammer, try to put 4 points on the board, call it off.
Well, a 4-5 jam that time around in favor of the Cornstalkers. But again, good to see the Dreadnoughts putting some points on the board. They, again, they struggled with that early on. They've been doing all right so far. 4 minutes and almost 4 minutes anyway into period number 2. So looks like we got a little bit of a consultation going on. The referees in the middle of the track are kind of talking things over a little bit. So we'll see what's going on there. But it looks like an official stoppage. So we'll let them do what they do. In the meantime, you want to fill us in on the brackets a little bit?
Well, again, if the Cornstalkers win, they would have gone 2-0 for their pool, so that immediately puts them into play at 8:30 this evening local time, and put them in line for one of the placement brackets. So if they win, they could at least finish fourth. They're guaranteed fourth place in the tournament just by winning this bout.
Well, there you go. Want to do, as long as we got some time on the official timeout, want to talk about a couple of our sponsors. I want to mention first off Sticker Giant, the custom sticker experts, official sticker company of ColoradoSports.TV. You can check them out now, www.stickergiant.com. And, oh, by the way, just a little something special for you because we love you. If you use the code RollerDerby at checkout, you're going to get 10% off your order. So visit on the lines, www.stickergiant.com.
I am a big friend of the Derby discount.
Yeah, hey, no doubt about it, man. Derby discount's a good thing, and it's all in the family. Looks like we are just about back. We're going to have the quick call here, get the update from our John F. Penalty giving us the update. Mo, what did he tell you?
There was a track cut assessed to the Dreadnoughts, and that is being taken off the board. So there will be no penalty assessed to that skater.
There you go. Thought it was a track cut, but evidently got away with one there, and so that penalty's been removed. 31-125, 26 minutes. It's 1 second away. Let's call it 26 minutes left in this game. 31-125, Cornstalkers with the big advantage, but the Dreadnoughts have seemed to at least found an answer for how to score some points, so we'll see what they can do with it all the way through. Both jammers quick out, but one gets reassessed, reabsorbed into the pack. So basically, that one's going to get called off very, very quickly. Jam Monster J had jumped out. Barbarossa had lead jammer status and then got reabsorbed into the pack and called that one off, Mo.
And again, that was essentially a win for the Dreadnoughts. They're able to get lead jammer, not get lead jammer, but use their strategy to get the jam shortened and then keep the clock in their favor. You know, I mean, we're talking about 80 points and change at this point between the teams. So again, not impossible with 25 minutes. It just takes employing a lot of strategy and.
Yeah, 94 points now separate the two teams, but we've got ourselves a Dreadnought lead jammer. So things could change a little bit here, especially as we've got a penalty being called. So as we look right now, Hot Toddy on the power jam. We got a blocking with the head on Toolshed. How you like that? He'll take a seat, 30 seconds to think about what he did wrong. We've got a multiplayer block coming now on Hot Shot. So not only the power jam, but a 4-3 pack advantage as well for the Dreadnoughts. 5 points already on the board. No pack called. Reformed very, very quickly. Got a 2-wall, D-bags, and John sends you home, trying everything they can to keep Hot Toddy in play, but nothing they can do. He's gone. 10 points and very, very quickly finds his way to the front of the pack. A nice inside, outside, forward, backward move. Hop, skip, jump, and gone, baby. 15 points now on the board for the Dreadnoughts. Finally, oh man, we've got a big hit there. That's the Jester is down on his knees and in pain. We're going to get a stoppage right there. And medics are going to come take a look and assign some or assess that injury. Toolshed's going to sit down the penalty called there. But, man, yeah, that one did not look good, Mo.
No, I mean, Toolshed came in pretty hot to the pack. He tried to flip around and suicide stop to slow himself down, but he still had a great rate of speed as he was making the approach and did hit Jester squarely in the back and forced him to the ground.
Well, and again, you mentioned earlier concrete floor.
Concrete floor.
You know, the human body was not meant to absorb, full contact from a skater coming in at full speed and then hitting the concrete. So, of course, our best wishes for Jester, but the huge shout out, of course, as always, goes to our medics and our first responders on site to render aid and assistance as necessary. And again, with all hope that Jester's in good shape and will be able to return to the bout here fairly quickly and not miss any tournament time. But again, thank goodness that we've got some of the best of the best of the best here as far as medics are concerned.
Yeah, and skating with a short bench already, I mean, Jester would be a significant loss. Even in this state, since he's having to be treated on the track, I mean, he's going to have to sit out 3 jams.
Right.
So, I mean, for 3 jams, you're losing a significant talent. But, Dreadnoughts are finding the momentum that they need. I mean, taking advantage of the power jam.
Yep.
So they were able to put 15 points, induce another penalty. They get to have a power start at the next whistle. And then, hopefully 10, 15 points there, having the lead jammer, having the power jam, put the points on the board, prevent the Cornstalkers from adding to their lead. And again, it's just with 24 minutes, again, this lead can evaporate. It's just a matter of just getting that strategy and sticking to it and applying it and seeing if the Cornstalkers actually used up everything they had in the first half. Because with heavy hitting takes a lot of energy. I mean, if you're the one giving the hit, it still takes a lot of energy to give that hit.
Well, and I'll tell you what, 6 minutes in, the deficit has shrunk. So the Dreadnoughts have certainly solved part of the mystery here. Now, the question is, do they have enough in them? And frankly, the Jester going down like that and being out for at least 3 jams, hopefully that'll be the extent of the injury. It appears, and I mean, again, we're way on the other side here. We can't see much of anything, but it appears they're looking at his nose. It appears, I mean, with the pressure that she's applying over there to his face area, I suspect this is a face meets concrete type of an injury, and he's now up on his feet, so thank goodness for that, and going to skate off under his own power, but they are certainly applying pressure to the nose area. I suspect we've got nothing more than that. So, again, best wishes to him, and hopefully a very quick return to the track. So we'll find out more about that as we can. But, yeah, Dreadnoughts 15-0 run on the last one. They're going to start on a power jam now. And as the Jester rolls slowly over this direction, we can see that she is indeed applying pressure to that nose. He seems to be absolutely fine. Otherwise, I'd be frankly amazed if they don't clear him for play, after 3 jams go by. But we'll see how that one lasts. 23 minutes, 57 seconds on the clock. Dreadnoughts with that 15-0 run now have a 46-125 deficit to come back from. They're going to do it on the power start once we get going again. But how tough is it as a skater to come back after sitting out 3 jams for an injury? We'll call it a timeout if you will, but for that stoppage, I mean, how tough is it? I mean, do you get out of the rhythm of the game at all at that point? Is the injury? I mean, what's the impact?
I think sometimes it's just it's just you want to prove that you're still able to play the game, that the injury's not going to take anything out of your game. So sometimes there might be some overcompensation going on that you want to do too much. So it's a matter of just staying within yourself and just playing the game that you can play, and not trying to do too much. Because me personally, it's just there's a lot of pride that goes into playing the sport. I mean, there's no compensation involved. It's all about just putting it out there, just having a good time, and just doing the best that you can. And that's all you want to do, is you want to do the best that you can for your team. And if you're sitting out with an injury, as benign as it may be, you want to make sure that you're not going to be a liability for your team. And sometimes, there's the psychological effect of trying to overcompensate.
No doubt about it. And so the Jester just skated past us and kind of almost a thumbs up kind of a deal. Certainly looks like there was maybe a bloody nose kind of a thing. But I will tell you this: he also had an ice pack on the back of the neck. Now that might have been the medic's attempt to kind of slow down the blood flow to the head. Mm-hmm. Thereby maybe trying to help stop the nosebleed. Not real sure. We'll try and catch up with the with the medics here in a minute and see if we can get any idea of what exactly happened. And the officials have kind of come together and had a little bit of a discussion. We've got our referee announcer, our announcer ref, I should say, John F. Penalty, just skated over to fill you in on the details a little bit, Mo. So we'll check on that here in just a second. But quick reset, as we're a little bit over 5 minutes of stoppage right now for the injury to the Jester for Dreadnought Roller Derby out of Alberta, Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. 46-125 is where we sit. 24 minutes to go. It looks like we're back in play. Mo, what's going on?
All right, Toolshed 916 for the Cornstalkers was removed from play by the officials for an unsafe back block. So again, him coming in so quickly and apparently out of control led to their decision to remove him from the game. So he will be out for the remainder of the bout.
Wow. That's big.
That is a big loss for Iowa. I mean, he's one of their main jammers. I mean,
well, you listen, and on top of that, they're skating without long haul, and they're skating down a couple of skaters. I mean, they only rostered I think 9, 10. Yeah, they're skating 10 anyway, and then they'd be one down. That's an issue. So back to it. No pack call. That allows Solis to jump out to a lead, and again, power jam action on the power start right now. 4-man wall up front. We've got a penalty being assigned on the other side of the track. That's going to go against Purple. That's going to be Short Bus taking a seat. 46-125, 23 and a half to go. Big play up front. A lot of action there. Out of play. They got no choice but to let him go. So now Barbarossa, who's filling in for the ejected Toolshed, is now jammer of record. He's been let loose out of the penalty box, and he'll re-engage the pack. We've got a multiplayer block now being called. Jam Monster J will sit down. Barbarossa is out. He is out front, but not the lead jammer, and that's going to be called off right there as Solis took control and called the jam off.
Well, Barbarossa had just completed his initial pass, so that gave Solis the opportunity to get the 4 points and then call off the jam with no damage. And again, they put a 0 on the Cornstalker side.
Well, and 10 on theirs.
Yes.
So, I mean, take a look at this thing, man. All of a sudden, it's a 56-125 game, and we're back to kind of talking about, hey, listen, they may have solved the Rubik's Cube here.
That's a manageable deficit.
It really is. And you know what? A couple more plays like that, you're down now another skater with Toolshed on the ejection. Short Bus is the jammer of record right now for the Dreadnought. And Camel Joe with Little John, the last line of defense, he says, bye-bye, I got to go. I got places to be, and you're standing in my way. Short Bus having a tough time up there and finally clears the pack. They're going to try and grab him back in. He fell down there in turn number 3, and they're going to race out to try and recycle and reclaim him. Nothing doing. Short Bus pushes the accelerator down and takes off, and this jam is about to get called off at the point. Camel Joe says, yeah, I got my 4 points, and you're not going to get to the back of the pack.
And, the Dreadnought Jammer just demonstrated the importance of just getting back to your feet as quickly as possible, because, the Cornstalkers were looking to eat him back up into the pack and force him to push his way through and not get anything out of it.
Yeah. So the Cornstalkers grabbed 4 points there, but let's be honest. There was a 15-point jam a few minutes ago, another 10-point jam just before this one. So, 25-4, I think the Dreadnoughts would live with 25-4 in 3 jams. I think they're okay with that.
I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, they got a big deficit to make up. That's a heck of a start. Now, they're going to start from a deficit here as Annihilator is out front, out first, and a big lead. Solis pushed out of play there. Looks like King Koopa doing the damage, and they're going to continue to bang. Ragnarok tries to lay a hit on King Koopa now to try and free up some space. Big collision there, up quickly in turn number 3. Another big, huge hit. Nice job there, man. Let me tell you, Jam Monster J did a nice job, and Hotshot's going to try and return the favor. Nothing doing, out and about. Solis has his way free and clear. Not the lead jammer. Matter of fact, that's going to go a 5-point jam. Yeah, there you go, of course. He's going to call that one off very quickly. Annihilator did get lead jammer status, did collect all 5 points, and he calls it off right there, Mo.
But the Dreadnought's able to get their jam out and limit the damage, If you hold them to 5, it's not 10, and it does help the comeback. And in the aggregate, they're still on the plus side over 4 jams. So it's just a matter, can they regain the momentum that got them that 24, 9, or 10-point advantage, to multiply that a couple more times. That's
it. Well, that's the thing. If they can get out and hop out to a couple of quick points and get another 10, 15-point jam here, and then another one, shortly after that, all of a sudden we're right back to manageable. Now, nice job there. Barbarossa, oh man, talk about tightrope, brother. He almost got the track cut call. They wanted to blow the whistle. They thought about blowing the whistle. They just couldn't blow the whistle because he just didn't do it. Straddling the line and really making it work. Both jammers out of the pack and through on their initial passes. It's Barbarossa in front. He's being chased, though. Hot Toddy is going to give ample chase right there, and oh, nice job. 2 wall turns into 1. Short Bus, the last line of defense, and a turn of the hips. Gets him all 4, I believe. Yes, sir, 4 points for the Cornstalkers. We'll take a quick look and see. Yep, 1 for the Dreadnought. So, again, they lost the jam, but it was only by 3, and it wasn't by 4. And they're still coming back, and they're still playing the way that they need to be playing. So, still, in a 5-jam stretch, they're still up. Can they put another couple points back together? And, hey, look at this. That's good news right there. The Jester has reemerged. He went back to the locker room area to get himself squared away. He is back on the floor. He is back on the bench for his team. 3 jams and then some have passed since the stoppage. So hopefully he'll be back out on the floor here rocking and rolling for the Dreadnoughts. They could certainly use his help, no doubt about that.
I think he actually touched up his makeup, too.
Could be. Yeah, listen, as long as you, got that bloody nose, may as well go ahead and dust it up a little bit. Skate and Bake out front, but committed a little no-no. That's a track cut violation. He'll take a seat. Power jam action begins right now, and lead jammer status, Camel Joe. Another Ragnarok penalty. He'll take a seat, and that's going to make it a 3-on-4 pack advantage on the power jam. Big bumping and bruising going on, and Camel Joe, I mean, he looked like a tightrope walker about to fall off the tightrope there for a minute, man. I mean, he's able to keep his feet, but just barely. Camel Joe's got 5 high, and he's going to skate around looking for more.
Yeah, and Camel Joe is just one of those skaters. If you try to go shoulder to shoulder with him, it is a losing battle.
Big body, a lot of movement, a lot of agility, no question.
I mean, it's just I had one moment of success against him, and it's just because I was able to go hip to hip with him and just throw my weight into him. But it's, again, it's...
Yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, it's the strength of the upper body strength that is usually demonstrated in men's derby, which makes it a demonstrably different game to watch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Listen, an additional 9 points can be put up on the board since then. So the Cornstalkers, well, let me take a look at that. Let's wait for the numbers to actually show. But I know he got 1 5-point pass, and I believe 4 on the last. So we'll take a quick look at it. And now, listen, well, all right, my math skills are a little bit rusty. 15 points total for the Cornstalkers on that jam. So 153 now, 57. So creeping up on a 100-point lead with 17 minutes to go in this one, Mo. We've got a long way to go still, and we've seen some big scores, and we've seen some, some mysteries solved. They're cracking the code. They're definitely scoring more now than they were in the first half. The Dreadnoughts have an opportunity. Annihilator straps on the star for the Cornstalkers. His counterpart on the other side of the equation is going to be number 2. That's Jam Monster J. Both jammers in the back of the pack for a moment, but only for a moment. And the moment's gone. We got ourselves a battle. They are back and forth, front, back, front. And finally, lead jammer status is going to go to the Cornstalkers. That, once again, is Annihilator out front. He's got control. A penalty being called. Hot shot, I believe a forearm if I'm not mistaken. He'll take a seat and think about what he did. 30 seconds of penalty time for him. Annihilator taken out on the inside. Turn number 3. Up quickly and reassigned to a position at the back of the pack. He's going to have to fight. He's got Ragnarok to get through. Does that. 1 to beat. Oh, man. Big hit there. Little John went down in a tiny little ball. That's a big guy to fall that small. Little John just crumbled. He's going to take a seat. Another penalty being assigned to the Dreadnoughts right there, so that'll even out the packs. But jam comes to a close. Nothing on the purple side. 5 additional points go up for the Cornstalkers, and now a 101-point lead. 15 and a half to go, Mo.
And it looks like the Cornstalkers just had to weather a little bit of a Dreadnought storm, and they just are able to, reassert themselves into the game that they started with. Just get your jammer out quickly, because if you see, they're piling up on the jammer line and then just creating the, the push and then finding the seams to get the jammer out.
3/4 of the way done on this one. 15 minutes to play in the second half. Short Bus is your lead jammer, so that's one way. That's one of the first steps in fighting back. You got to start getting lead jammer, and they do. Another step in coming back, you got to take the opposing jammer out of play, and Jam Monster J just did that nicely. Barbarossa down and out, has to reform, and then gets blasted not once but twice, and that jam's going to get called off before any more damage can be done there. So we'll take a quick look at the scoreboard, but Short Bus doing exactly what he's supposed to do, putting 5 points on the board. Nothing doing for the Cornstalkers. A 5-0 run, 62-158, 14 and a half to go.
Yeah, but more than halfway through the second half, I mean, the clock is less of a friend for the Dreadnoughts at this point.
Yeah, no question about it. They've got to put points on the board, and they're going to have to put them up in buckets. Now, let's say this. We've done a little research on these two teams. No question about the fact the Cornstalkers can score in bunches, but you know what? The Dreadnoughts have the ability to do the same thing. They've shown it in flashes here. Now, if they can put that together and really do it consistently, they're going to be in good shape. D-Bags on a nice big chest bump, and that's going to be a Hot Toddy taking the hit, but wow, out of nowhere. Hot Toddy in lead jammer status, but man, oh man, he's got himself, I take that back. Camel Joe has the lead. Hot Toddy out front, but Camel Joe being pointed at, so this one is going to get called off before the damage can be done. But look at Camel Joe just milking the clock, and the Cornstalkers take off. Nobody wants to be at point now. They know what they're doing. They know it's clock management time. So nice job there by the Cornstalkers, having some awareness of the clock and of the pack condition.
Well, also he was creating enough time to get his teammate out of the penalty box. So. And let's give a shout out to another one of our sponsors. We got RD Nation, a smarter way to derby, bringing roller derby to the masses. We help leagues manage themselves better so they can skate more. Download the free software at rdnation.com. And don't forget about that donate button if you're watching us on ColoradoSports.TV.
Yeah, listen, we got ourselves a timeout. That's the Dreadnought second timeout, so we are in a stoppage of play. Guys, listen, if you're enjoying what you're seeing here, Mo and I would love it if you would send us money. Honestly, that would be great. I'll take some cash.
I'll give you my PayPal.
Yeah, listen, we'll tell you how to do it. But you know what? The better thing to do, the right thing to do, is to give back to the folks that give back to you. So if you're enjoying what we've got to say, if you're enjoying the games, if you're enjoying the announcing, if you're enjoying the officiating, if you're enjoying, being wherever you are and not facing a snowstorm that's about to blanket us with the white stuff here tomorrow morning, you know what? Hit the donate button. Go ahead and put a couple of bucks in the coffers and help the good folks here from ColoradoSports.TV who are doing, by the way, a phenomenal job, bang-up job on the tech side of things, giving us the opportunity to come to you all the way live from the ranch here in Loveland, Colorado.
Which is just about an hour north of Denver, where I hear some other roller derby action is going on.
There's other roller... Wait. So you're saying that the world exists outside of this cavern?
Yes, apparently in Denver, which is also being carried on ColoradoSports.TV. We've got some major WFTDA action. Yeah, listen, some great teams. I got to be honest with you. Some phenomenal D1 teams, over there at that other venue. Listen, we don't want you to snake out. We don't want you to go check out the other feed. We want you to stay right here. But, man, oh, man, there are some great bouts going on. Windy City is in town. Denver's out there doing their thing. And Gotham is defending their undefeated streak. I've heard of them. Yes. Yeah, they've won a couple of bouts here and there. It's an up-and-coming team in the WFTDA rankings. The Gotham, what do they call them? Gotham, what is it? It's Gotham Roller Girls, something like that. Something like that. Yeah. They're from that little hamlet called New York City. Yeah, it's a small little burg there, just somewhere south of the Maine metropolitan. Yeah, it's between the Hudson and East River. I don't know what's wrong with us, man. We got nothing better to talk about. Hey, we've got a lot better to talk about. Here it is right now. Barbarossa with a nice move on the inside line to pick up lead jammer status for the Cornstalkers. We are just approaching 13 minutes left in play. Jam Monster J comes up against a massive four-wall and quickly makes nothing of it. Man, oh man, a one-wall, one to beat. We've got a little bit of a penalty coming here and a pirouette. Nice job. Way to stay on his feet. Penalty coming against Yellow. Did not see the call. It's going to go against Anden. He'll take a seat, and the action continues. That jam's going to get called off. Barbarossa being shoved out of play by Short Bus. Damage done. We'll take a quick look at the scoreboard. 12 minutes and 30 seconds to play. 4 points put on the board for the Cornstalkers. Nothing for the Dreadnoughts. Right, and as a result of this, this is not an elimination game, so both teams will continue. So the Dreadnoughts still have something to play for, which shows, which is showing that they're they're not giving up. They're still putting out the full effort because they do have another game to look forward to this afternoon. 100 points separate these two teams, 62 to 162. We are just about to the 12-minute mark. Nice to see the Jester back out on the track and getting blasted.
Annihilator just said, I don't think you can stop me, and you're going to have to prove it if you can. Big, huge blast there from Annihilator. Jester goes down, but he's quickly up. So, again, great to see him back on the track. That's awesome. Hot Shot's going to be called for the penalty. He'll take a seat. That allows the Dreadnoughts jammer. That's going to be number 7. That's going to be Solus to jump back in. And that jam's going to get called off from a place right here, right directly in front of us. Annihilator taken out and down right in front of the announcer's booth.
But Little John was assessed a penalty for that hit. So it did induce the calling the jam, but he was assessed a penalty.
Listen, when you're 6'7", I mean, you know, you got a big engagement zone. You know, there's a lot of areas to hit. But, man, oh, man, you got to get way down low to try and find a legal hitting zone on any of these other yellow jerseys.
But as a jammer, I mean, it's just getting low and making yourself small. So you go against someone that high, I mean, that tall, it's just a high block is, you know, very easy to induce.
Absolutely. Skate and Bake doing a nice job there, one-on-one with Camel Joe, but Camel Joe pushes his way through and makes his intentions clear. I'm going to take lead jammer status away, and I'm going to fly around the track. He's got a stalker, number 2. That's going to be Jam Monster J once again. One and done. We'll take a look at. Yeah, it is one and done. Ragnarok, the last line of defense. Jester gave him a shove that turned him around. 4 points on the board. Call that jam off. 10.5 to go here, big guy.
And Camel Joe just showing the ability and the agility. I mean, doing a one-footed 380 turn on the inside of the turn where the track disappears very quickly. I mean, that's just complete awareness.
And, you know, let me just tell you something. You know, I mean, we're talking a lot about what a great job the Cornstalkers are doing, and Sioux City, Iowa should be proud of their 20th ranked MRDA team. They're doing great stuff, but after this jam, I want to talk to you a little bit about who's not here, because that's a big, big story for the Red Deer, Alberta, Canada Dreadnought Roller Derby. Short Bus straps on the star for them. He's out first, out clean, and he's got himself lead jammer status. Barbarossa having a very, very difficult time in the front of the pack there. 2 to beat. See if he can get clear. Hot Toddy giving some trouble. The Jester doing some work as well. And finally, Short Bus is going to have to call this one off if he can. He got their attention and calls that one off from out of play. So, Mo, let me just talk to you real quick about this. Dreadnought skates down a bunch of skaters. Ginger Dead Man, not here. Looney Bin Jim, not here. Team Canada's assistant captain and all-around back-and-forth two-way player, Dr. T. Sanchez, not here. That's a big, big loss. Ziggy, a massive, massive force on the blocking side, not here. Nomad, suspended for a gross misconduct yesterday, not on the floor. Buster Beaton, not on the floor. One of their most prolific jammers, Grey Gustav, not here. So, you know, kudos to the Dreadnoughts for playing as strong as they are, down some of their top skaters, and really, just pushing the action. Speaking of the action, Annihilator is the jammer of record for the Cornstalkers on the other side of the equation at the front of the pack, and the lead jammer right now, that's going to be Jam Monster J. He's got it, and he's going to use it. Got a penalty coming. Solus is going to take a seat. Again, a little bit tough on this side of the arena to catch the penalty. It doesn't make a difference at the end of the day. 30 seconds is 30 seconds. And while I'd love to be able to tell you what it was, neither one of us caught that one. Back to action on the track. That one's going to get called off right there as Annihilator was coming through and looking to score. 64-178. I take that back. A couple of additional points being thrown up on the board now for the Dreadnoughts. They scored 3 on that one. A 3-0 run makes it 67-170 at the 8-minute mark, Mo.
Yes, and you were talking about them being down a significant portion of their lineup, but they still suited up and showed up, and they're putting it out on the floor, and that's what I've learned roller derby is really about. It's just you suit up and show up, and you leave it on the floor, and just let the results be what they're going to be.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, strong team doing strong stuff. Back to it with Camel Joe up front. In the back of the pack is Short Bus. He's got a lot of ground to make up, but he's also got John Senya Holmes banging on him, trying to make it a little bit more difficult. Pushed out of bounds on the outside of the track. He'll come back in. In the meantime, oh, man, how strong is he? Camel Joe takes a big hit and just keeps on clocking it, man. He is out and through. And in the meantime, Short Bus clears D-bags and races around 5 high, says Thugs. We're going to go ahead and put 5 on the board for the Cornstalkers. Short bus gives chase. Nice job there in the front of the pack, slowing things down, but Camel Joe able to get in, get out, get through, get his points, and call off the jam. So I believe we're going to see a 9-0 run, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, sir, 9-0 run for the Cornstalkers, and time keeps on ticking into the future. We're getting close, buddy.
Yes, we are. I mean, the Cornstalkers able to stretch out that Dreadnought defense, unable to slow up Camel Joe. I mean, he just dropped the shoulder on his opponent and just blew right through him. I don't even know why you would want to even look in his direction when he's gearing up for you. You're just an open target when you're facing the opposite direction.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Nice big block there. Ragnarok trying to lay the lumber and then gets a little bit of help from Jam Monster J. Barbarossa is the object of their affection. A no pass, no penalty situation there. Barbarossa takes an inside-outside move, trying to find a hole, trying to find a seam. Not effective yet, really not having any luck, and a big wall. It's a one-wall skate and bake, just locked the door. Finally, Barbarossa able to skate his way clear. He's out and free, but he's got a stalker on his tail. Number 7, Solus, gives chase, and this one's going to be a foot race to the finish. 5.5 minutes left to play. Jammer v. Jammer, a little chest bump, a little face-to-face action, and they're going to slow things down right there. Barbarossa happy to take the time off the clock and lay a little lumber. Solus and Barbarossa jawing a little bit there, a little bit of talking going on. Again, these two teams really battling strong, and that jam's going to get called off right there. 67-179, no points going on the board either direction, I don't believe. Just about 5 minutes to go.
Were you actually suggesting that men in a competitive situation were actually talking smack to each other?
No. I guarantee. No. I would never suggest such a thing. I am absolutely positive that they were talking about, shortbread recipes and where they were going to go for the after party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No question about it. That was all on the up and up, and they were smiling on the way by.
I mean, that's just never been my experience in men's roller derby.
We've got ourselves a lead jammer in yellow and a penalty assessed. I believe a multiplayer block. That's going to go against Jam Monster J. In the meantime, lead jammer Annihilator, he's out and about, and he's got a sizable lead. We're not going to say a huge lead, but a sizable lead against Hot Toddy, who gives chase. Another penalty being assessed on the other side of King Koopa. He'll take a seat, and that jam's going to get called off as both jammers approach the engagement zone there, kind of ready to put some points on the board. We'll take a look. 3 points on one side, nothing doing on the other. A 3-0 run for the Cornstalkers. Time just about 4 minutes left in this bout, Mo.
Yes, and again, it's just, I mean, I've never seen a comeback with 4 minutes with this deficit. But the Dreadnoughts do have a lot to play for. They still have another bout, so they do want to, keep applying their strategies. See what's working for their next opponent.
Wow, look at that. Up on the toe stops, tippy-toeing his way on the outside line. What a fantastic play. Just so agile. I mean, we've said it before, and we'll keep saying it. Short bus breaks out of the pack, and he'll give chase, but Camel Joe is way out front, more than half a lap in front. He's already back in front of the pack. That's right, all 5 on the board right there, I believe. We'll take a quick look. Put him up, yes, sir. 5 in the air. 5 points on the board for Camel Joe, and he's going to go ahead and just kind of milk it all the way through. He's going to call that jam off before hips can cross. Dreadnought's going to be shut out on that one, a 4-0 pass. I looked like they were going to go 5, but she put the thumb back in. Tell you what, when you take a look at Dreadnought, and again, they're not going to be happy with the outcome of this bout. I get that. But some big things to think about. They've really only had one MRDA-sanctioned bout before Mayday Mayhem began. So, I mean, they're brand new to MRDA in the first place. They just joined at the end of 2013. They've got roughly 25 games under their belt, 7 of those against Calgary's Glenmore Reservoir Dogs. 4 of them, though, recently represented Team Canada at the Men's World Cup in the UK, and none of them are here with, I think, one exception possibly. No, I take that back. None of them are here today. So there's half the issue right there. We've got a lead jammer. He's wearing a purple jersey. That's going to go for number 2. That's Jam Monster J. Giving chase now, but a full half lap and then some behind is Barbarossa. He'll go ahead and give chase, but it's 2 minutes left in this one. A track cut penalty being assigned. A track cut penalty. Yeah, and he's going to be waved around. That penalty is not going to begin. He's way past the last line, the line of no return. So Jam Monster J had taken a seat, but they're waving him around. He's going to have to take another lap before that penalty time can begin. Barbarossa with 5 points already and looking for more, and a big power jam here because, again, not only the 30 seconds, but probably another 15 or 20 as Jam Monster J went the wrong direction and had to take an extra lap around before his penalty time would start. The Jester back on the track and laying hits, not able to corral Barbarossa, but able to slow him down long enough that he could get back in to recycle all the way back to the front of the pack, trying to be that last line of defense. 1 minute, 15 seconds. The Cornstalkers crossed the 200 mark, 2:01.67. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go. Barbarossa, the slow roll back to the back to the back of the pack, makes a bit of an impact there. One to beat is Ragnarok. He's forced out of play and comes right back in. It's still one-on-one. Barbarossa and Ragnarok, who says, you know what? I can't hold you back, brother. 5 points. Barbarossa is up on the board with a 20-point jam already. Still 47 seconds, 46, 45 left on the clock. Jam coming to a close. Barbarossa with a spin move and a little love tap from Jester. We'll take a quick look at the scoreboard, but with 35 seconds to play, Cornstalkers just opened it up right there, passing the 200 mark and throwing up. Let's see here. I believe it's going to end up being 24 if I'm not mistaken, but we'll wait for the official scoreboard to update.
And it was good to see, I mean, with Jester finishing in front of us, that, you know, that injury did not let up his game at all, and I saw him smiling throughout the entire jam, so he's still having a good time. He must be 100%. It was just something that maybe needed to take care of as procedure.
Yeah.
So,
wow. That clock, let me tell you what, the clock was at about a half second. I mean, it was a half second to go, and this jam is underway. The time clock, the game clock has expired. That was indeed a 24-point pass for the Cornstalkers, and this will be, barring anything unbelievable happening, this will be the last jam of this bout. 2:10-67 when we started, with 0 time left on the clock, maybe a tenth of a second when the whistles blew. So this one could end at any moment, but in the meantime, lead jammer status and 5 points up for Annihilator. He'll call it off. Unofficial total, unofficial final right now is going to be, well, we'll wait for the official announcement that the play has ended. But right now, I believe we're going to have a 2:15-67 final. 2:15 on the board, 67 the other way. Referees are talking things over, but that's going to end it right there, Mo. Been great calling with you, man. We just saw a phenomenal bout.
Oh, yeah, men's derby, I mean, it's just an exertion of force and talent, and it's just, I had a great time calling with you. Your play-by-play was just on the money, and thank you for the opportunity. I get to hopefully skate against one of these teams later today, but I'm looking at a team from one of the other pools to play against at 4 o'clock this afternoon local time with the Dallas Inception.
There you go. Well, with any luck, I'll be on the call on that one. Movato, great calling with you, man. Fantastic having a skater that actually knows what the heck's going on to sit next to you to talk about and analyze the game. My name is Pastor Mike. We are here from Mayday Mayhem in Loveland, Colorado. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Please hit the donate button and make sure you take good care of the good folks who are making this possible, the folks from ColoradoSports.TV. For Mayday Mayhem, for my partner in crime, Movato.
Thank you, Pastor Mike.
We're out.